welcome. This is Marisa Bludorn. I am the editor-in-chief and CEO of Own It Magazine and Publishing, and I am so super excited. We are doing a round two of an international conference and retreat in the Dominican Republic under the Unleashed anthology, and this anthology is powerful. We are going to be making some serious history in the Dominican Republic. I'm currently here in the States visiting with family for the holidays. And I'm so excited to be able to see some of the authors as I'm here. So I may be doing some lives and some spots and, pop-ups and things like that as we go along the way. But tonight, I have taken center stage and owning it with me, the Unleashed authors, contributing authors, as well as conference attendees. So I have up with me first is Eileen Hill. She's here with me, and she's a round two baby. And I have Teresa Palmer. And she's a first timer with us, but she's also a contributing writer. Both Eileen and Teresa are contributing writers for the Own It magazine. Dr. Iris Wright is also a contributing writer and an author. So excited to have her here with us. We also have Lawrence Stokes. He is in the house. He's a contributing writer for the Own It magazine as well as a contributing author. And he will be attending the conference. We're so excited to have him. Sanika is in the house. Hey! So these are just a few of our 57 authors who we have all together with us in this round. And I'm so excited to have you. Unleashed is yet again another personal, professional, business development project. And it really is speaking to all that it takes to achieve and stay focused in this demanding world that we're in, and to keep you inspired and uplifted to not only set your goals, but make it to the finish line. And so I just want them to share. This is we are doing a virtual book tour, so we are all around the world. People are watching us all over. And then also too, there's three books coming out of this. And actually 5 books that will actually be represented at the conference. And it's Own It Unleashed, which is the big project. Own It Unleashed, In His Presence, Confident and Sexy. And then we also have King Conversations, which our men are here. So as you can see, this is not just a women's project, but this is a men and women's project. As well as we have a group of, we have an anthology just primarily just all men that will be in the house. And we're excited about that. This year at the conference, men did attend. So husbands and wives actually attended together. And then we had a group of guys who were hanging out with us too, watching. Some were imparting and some were on the outskirts, but just super excited. You guys were so excited. Those of you who participated this year, we're so excited. It was like, Marisa, we got to do this again. And so here we are. Now, with that being said, I want to share I want to digress and let some of the authors share, in this experience and how they're excited and what they plan on bringing to the table, what their expectations are. The book will be released in 2024. We'll give that announcement at the exact time that we're going to be doing the bestsellers campaign, as well as when the book will be ready and released. And Own It Unapologetic has been selling out. And so I'm going to start with Eileen and let her share. And we're going to be really quick because there's a few of us. I got to add some more folks that are backstage to the screen. But Eileen, take it away. I'll give you like 2 to 3 minutes to tell everybody in a nutshell your experience, what they can expect from you, etc.
Well, good evening, everyone. This is my second go round. As Marissa said, I participated in the Own It anthology unapologetically, and I'm involved with 2 anthologies. Of course, the Unleash and the other one, In His Presence. I learned so much from being at the Dominican Republic this year. I want to say last year, but it happened this year, and looking forward to next year. Even now, starting my own nonprofit ministry, Walking with the Father, which you see under the title. And one thing I want to share that I heard this from my church, because I was at my church to promote the book, and my pastor gave me the title, the chapter Rooted and Grounded for the Unapologetically, which I was selling like hotcakes. I told Marissa how many books I have left and how many journals I have left. It was two shipments. So out of the two shipments, I don't have so much left. But to make this short, what three goals that are attainable you want to do for the end of this year? So of course, my health, of course, I'm studying for a teacher exam, but of course, strategic planning for my ministry, for my business. So if there's anything to take away from, especially the ending of 2023 into 2024, I have three attainable goals that I need to do from now to December. So that way, when 2024 hit, I'm up and running. But I've enjoyed the experience. Marissa has been like my mama Sita, been pushing us and pushing us. And so I might have had a little setback due to my mother's health, but I'm going to stay focused on those three goals. There's other goals, but at least let me focus on the three.
Yeah. And one thing that's big about Own It is life happens. Just chill out, tranquila, relax, Javier. It's all going to be well. Life happens. And when you put crises into a place of normality, that they're going to happen, they don't consume or take over your life. You deal with the crisis, then you get back to focusing. I want to go over to, and thank you so much for sharing, Eileen. I want to go over to Teresa Palmer because I want her to share in her experience thus far and what her expectations. What do you want to share with the audience?
Thank you so much. I would say I'm fairly new to Own It magazine, and it's been a wonderful experience. I'm really enjoying the whole concept, not only of the magazine, but of Unleashed. And when we're unleashed, to me, we're living to our fullest potential. And one of the things with our fullest potential is if we could connect to our heart. And I am a holistic cardiology nurse practitioner, and most of the time in cardiology, we have, as providers, we have a tendency and patients to view our heart from what could go wrong. So what I do is teach people how to view their heart from what could go right. Your heart is your great, it's your superpower, and it's really your greatest ally against stress and anxiety. It's your intuition, your inner knowing, and it's also your connection to a power higher than yourself. So that's what I look to bring, not only to Unleashed, but also that form of self help and self care to Own It magazine.
That's awesome. And we need to talk about that. We don't talk about the emotions which are connected and rooted in the heart. We don't address that. We avoid it. And it's the very thing that we need to know how to master it, navigating through. It's critical that we know that. And it's the heartbeat of Own It. And so we are so excited and so thankful that God sent you our way, Sister Palmer. We're so thankful. So we're going to move over to our serial entrepreneur, which many of us are serial entrepreneurs, but this is the guru of serial entrepreneurs. And I'm so excited about our new partnership and being under her leadership. She's under my leadership here, but under her leadership, and that's Dr. Iris Wright. Iris, will you really share with us your experience and all that good stuff? What are you bringing to the table, girl, that they need to come to the Dominican Republic in 2024?
I'm excited to be part of Unleashed, and I'm excited to be a writer in Own It magazine as well. But Unleashed, I'm talking more about my chapter is Unleashed by Injustice. So many people know I'm an injustice survivor, and I advocate for it, and I help people heal that's going through injustice. Hurt people hurt people. And we have a lot of that, whether it's injustice through the justice system or it could be in families or, just trauma. So that's what I'm telling my story in that book and showing what I had to go through, and how I evolved from it. And most importantly, giving some detail and insight on emotions and things that people actually go through once they experience this different type of trauma. Because oftentimes we are judged, we are looked at differently because of traumas and things that we had no control over that was put on us. And a lot of times we think in life that we're okay. I know for 20 years, I said, oh, I'm okay. I just put it in the box and kind of locked it up. I'm okay. And it wasn't until I got into entrepreneurship, and I started growing, and I like, oh, this can't stay closed in the box. I got to open this wound up, and I have to get it healed. I have to go with my process. And I'm glad that I've done that. And I was able this year to share my story live on Facebook. I think it's the first time I've told what happened to me in 20 years, and was able to start a movement called Injustice. And I do two celebrations a year. I bring people who are experiencing injustice and some type of pain for it, and we put it together in an anthology. So, and I help them heal and evolve. What is your potential? What do you want to do? How can this take you to the next level? Because you can go to the next level, and bad things happen to all of us, but we can't stay stuck and stagnant in there. So in my chapter, I'm bringing how I'm showing people the pain that I had to endure, how stuck I was, and how I was able to unleash and evolve into a serial entrepreneur, a growing home care company, now an author, Amazon bestseller speaker, and some things that happened to me just this year alone because I wasn't an author. I think January was the first project I was in. So now I have about 20 books from January to now. I'm a best-selling author. I have my own solo books dropping, in project speaking. Next year, I'm going to the DR. I'm going to St. Thomas. I was invited to Paris. So, um, so I'm just, super excited about just the journey because I didn't know why we were taking that journey. So the Lord had me in position with people to be able to unleash and for His purpose and what He has for me. So I didn't even know I was going through that for a reason.
Yeah.
Um, when you're going through situations, you don't know why the Lord allowed things. Sometimes you lose contact in the Lord, and you think that He's not with you anymore. So you turn your back on Him. So I talk about a lot of that in my writings on how I turned my back. I didn't want anything to do with Him, and He had to bring me back. And my grandmother, I smile because my grandmother always prayed over us when we was younger and said, hey, you're going to walk away from God, but because of the love and the prayer, and because you was in the church, that you're going to always come back. You're going to
Oh
come
yeah.
back home.
Yeah.
I think she was right on that. So,
Yes.
um,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
so
Yes.
that's what I'm bringing to the table as a serial entrepreneur. I'm a mortgage loan officer. Me and Marissa's doing a project, title agent, and I'm helping people in low income families that thought that they couldn't be homeowners. I'm helping them to become homeowners and showing them how the right way to do it. So it's a lot of things that we weren't taught. I wasn't. I'm learning as an entrepreneur that I'm really taking, saying, hey, we need to bring this back into the community. I have a program called Teen Mom to Entrepreneur that we're about to launch, where I'm taking teen moms because I was a teen mother. And I'm just teaching them A to Z entrepreneurships, how to be an author, how to use their voices to speak, how to turn their pain into passion. So we're doing a lot of amazing things in our nonprofit communities and helping everybody around. And everything that I've done is because of the pain that was set on me. So I just wanted to make sure I was unleashed.
Now, see, that's what I mean by the serial
Mhm.
entrepreneur. Okay. And it's critical work that you're doing in the sense of helping with people with injustice because the shame that comes from being falsely accused, and to have to overcome that. And she's a tremendous, as detailed as she was. And I'm going to tell you, she needed to take all of that time because that's how much work she's done since the top of this year up until now. And these are the people who are speaking in this book. And remember, I've mentioned it before, Own It Unapologetic was the number one bestseller in professional development. This is a What we're doing in this project is critical in the sense that we speak to not only you being an entrepreneur, or you being a career professional, or you just being in life. We speak to all of that. we work with you on your mindset. We work on you with spirituality. We work with you on being strategic and intentional with your career, being strategic and intentional with your business. That's what Own It is all about, is awakening you to the bigger picture. And so I want to move on, and there's many of you, and there's more in the backstage. I'm getting ready to let some folks in. And so I want to go to Florence. I want to go to and speak to. And Florence says, everybody has been doing amazing things because I stalk you guys. I go and look to see what's going on. And then you're also being featured in the Own It magazine. So I got to see what you've been doing so we can celebrate you. And so I want to go with Florence. Then I want to go to uh, Tawanda, and then I want to go to Shakina. Oh, where did Florence go? Oh, as soon as I called her. Okay, so Tawanda, would you speak? Then Sanika, would you go? And then Lawrence, and then Rochelle.
Hello, everyone. I'm Twanda, and this year has been a little challenging for me, but at the same time, it has been evolving as well. Um, I'm excited about the project because I was able to explain how I was able to unleash not only from past trauma, but like Melissa says, that life happens. And last year, um, I was thrust into a moment of silence. When I say I was thrust into a moment of silence, one day I just woke up and I couldn't hear, and I was completely deaf. And so this year has been an evolving year for me. I became a new author. I was able to tell a chapter of it into another anthology. But Unleash was more in depth and more detailed about some other areas in my life that I was able to let go. When you unleash, you're letting go something, but you're also gaining something. And so what I was gaining back is my self-esteem, my confidence, my will to move forward and press forward and do what God has called me to do. I have two ministries. Well, actually, one ministry, and I birthed another one from that one ministry, which is my brand, I Am Every Woman. And I started I Am Every Woman. I procrastinated about it for some time, but um, I went back to God and I asked Him if this was truly what He wanted me to do. And I asked Him to give me a sign. So that goes to show you how untrusting that we can be sometime of, the things that God speak in our spirit or has commissioned us to do. And so I heard the voice tell me to go into Walgreens. And so I went into Walgreens, and this was in 2020. Back in 2018, he had told me that I would retire from my job in 2020, not knowing that we would be thrust into a pandemic. And so I just trust God enough that when he said that I would be retiring, that because my desire was to work full time for him and to share with women the experiences that I've gone through, because most women go through some of the same things. And what I wanted to do was build women up, give them back their self esteem, let them know that the things that they've gone through, a lot of times we don't have to carry because it doesn't belong to us. It was somebody else's insecurity that we have taken on. And so we have to come to a place where we have to, from the inside out, be beautified and glorified to the beings that God had created us to be. So he gave me I Am Every Woman, gave me the name and everything. So I was unsure about whether I needed to push forward and do the I Am Every Woman. So I go into Walgreens thinking I'm going to find things, cleaning items for the pandemic. And when I get in there, they don't have any. So I'm like, okay, Lord, why am I in this place? What am I supposed to be getting out of here? So I started to look around the place and I said, well, maybe I need some vitamins and stuff like that. And lo and behold, the radio was playing Shaka Khan, I Am Every Woman. I said, okay, God, this, I don't need any more signs, wonders, or anything. I'm pressing forward and I'm moving forward. And we don't really realize how someone else needs to hear our stories. And so when I got involved in the Unleash, I'm able to express how it was a journey, how it is a process that we go through to recover and to heal those wounds from our past and also help others to heal where they are. With I Am Every Woman, I do pampering the queen within. And so we have to take care of the queen inside so that she can be beautified on the outside. And I have an esthetician that works with me that does the pampering on the outside. So it's a twofold healing, because the body breaks down when the inside is full of trauma, baggage, hurt, pain, brokenness. And, our bodies are not designed for that. So I'm just really, truly excited for this opportunity. Um, and in the moment of silence, I was able to have a one on one with God. It was in a journey where I can only hear the voice of God. And that's where He wanted me to be, in that place where I could only hear His voice. And in that moment, He says, write the book, A Moment of Silence. And
Wow.
so I'm just excited about what God is doing in 2024. I hope to have that project completed. A Moment of Silence. I have been working on it. So by next year, that's one of my goals, to have that completed. Next year, we would have the Unleash completed. So that's another goal. And also, I'm looking to expand the I Am Every Woman as far as going out to different places, because I have women in the group in different cities and in different towns. I'm from New York, so I'm taking I Am Every Woman to New York to give the women there that I know that same experience. So I'm just looking for, you know, God to do what He do. He always shows up, and He's always on time and never late. And if we just move out of His way and let Him have His way, oh my goodness, the possibilities are endless.
Hmm. Wow, wow, that's awesome, 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 awesome. And so, yeah, because we have authors trying to come in. You should see the notifications that I'm getting that people are coming in, coming in. And so, anyway, that is amazing because the one thing about Own It is we are on both sides of the spectrum. We have people who come into Own It and they are experts, they're proficient, they know. Then we have people who don't know. They don't know. They don't know what the journey is. And what's beautiful about that is that when we all come together and we begin to talk, and the beautiful thing about Own It is it is a monthly issue. It's a magazine that is distributed on a monthly basis. So there is a consistency of a resource that's available for the contributing writers to write it out because writing is therapeutic. Writing cuts both ways. It ministers both to the hearer as well as the scholar who's writing. And it helps us to get a clearer journey on where we're trying to go. When I started this whole magazine monthly issue thing, I had no idea I would end up here. but it's what we do in the process of the journey. Are we willing to just follow God and just allow Him to be the lead of the way and trust Him in the unclarity when you're not clear on things? Trust Him in the unfolding process, and it will take you places you never thought. I never thought I would have lived in the Dominican Republic.
Mm.
How, and guess what? I'm getting ready to do youth leadership Toastmasters in the Philippines. This that right after our conference, I'll be hopping on a flight and I will be a month or a month and a half to 2 months in the Philippines. Who would have thought? Who would have thought doing youth leadership development? So we don't know where this can go. And that's why I sacrifice like I do to create a platform for not the person that's always, made it, but the person who is struggling to figure it out. That I know that being in the field of psychology, I know that in order for you to gain clarity, you got to process some things. You got to go through the journey. You got to go through that fogginess and unclarity to get to a place of clarity. So I don't want to hold up anybody because I want to make sure you all get a chance to say something. Sanika, can you share? Then it's Lawrence, then it's Rochelle, then it's Jeffrey, then it's Kamisha. Remember the order.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sakina. I know you always say my name wrong. It's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to get it right. I got to say it more and more.
um, I am super excited to be here. Um, it has been a long journey for me to be here. Marissa and I know it's been about roughly about 2 years before I finally committed and actually wrote something because life happens and life just kept on happening. And I just said, this time I'm pushing through. And at the last minute, I was like, can I, is it too late? And her understanding everything. So a little bit about my chapter. My chapter is entitled Be Still. And I talk about how pretty much, I don't know if anyone else, when you're younger, you had to go to church. And I talk about my experience of, shying away from church to finally building a relationship with God, getting back into the church, and then getting baptized, and how my life has changed and is continued to change since then. Um, I specialize in grief and trauma. I am a certified grief counselor and I am a certified clinical trauma specialist. I am a social worker. And so with this platform, it allows me to, reach all different ages, all different populations about the different effects grief have on your life, unresolved grief, unresolved trauma. That's what I focus on. Next year, I will be taking my license. So once I get my license, I will be able to launch my own business and start doing psychotherapy independently and not working with someone else. And so I'm looking forward to that. Um, I'm already on Psychology Today, and I have so many referrals coming in already. When I lived in Virginia, I was working for an agency and I was able to do that type of work. And I touched so many females on so many different levels. Again, just about those unresolved wounds, talking about mommy issues and daddy issues, and just really able to break some of those cycles and using grief as the main tool for all of that in order for people to have the life that they desire. And so that's all there is about me. And I wanted to thank Mr. Lawrence because sometimes when I get stuck, I reach out to him and he encourages me and I think nobody. I'm like, I don't know if I could do it. He's like, you can do it. You can do it. Think about whoever it is. Think about it. You're doing it for your kids. You're doing it for your grandkids. So I always want to thank you. I never met him, but we met on this platform, and I want to thank you so much for always supporting me and encouraging me. So thank you.
Oh, that is beautiful. See, teamwork makes the dream work. And who would have known? And that's the beautiful thing about the Own It family is that we come together and we really, really support one another. Lawrence does that as well for me. He's an encouragement to me, always lifting me up. Marisa, I got you. Whatever it is that you need me to do, I'm going to do it. And so we need that. We need that. That is And I always say, you do not need my permission to work together. You just go and there's no politics here. There's no who's doing what with who. And, this is the Marisa show. And no, it's God has called each and every one of us. And he has given each and every one of us our own gifts and talents. And he wants us to tap into and unleash our unlimited potential. He wants to put his super on our natural so that we operate supernaturally above all of the circumstances, above all the challenges. That's why I always say to you, listen, life happens. We're not worried about that. What do you need to do? Go get it done and then come on back. Let's keep it moving. And so what I am going to say is those who don't, who have had some time on, if you would just digress and give some other folks some time to come on, because we do have authors that are coming in the background and we don't have enough space. And so many of us, we don't have enough space. I believe it's Lawrence is up. Thank you so much, Iris. I really, really appreciate you and can't wait for our one-on-one tomorrow. So thank you so much, Iris. Have a blessed night. And then, so Lawrence, you're up. Then it's Rochelle. And then everybody else should remember what that order was. So Lawrence, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Uh, Thank you, Sakina. Okay, I'm not gonna say you stole my thunder, but that's fine. That's fine. I am. I am. Let me be honest. I can't tell you what God has for me. I don't know. Been searching, always have been, but I do know that I'm an encourager. I'll help you get there because I've always felt that if my life ain't going right, let me help you get you to where you need to be. That does me well because I've always been the type that outside of a lot of things I've been through in my life, no one knows. I've mastered well. I've held it in well, and the ability to write has, in my mind, hopefully it helps someone, and it's kind of, if you want to say therapeutic, but everything that I've written has already been here. It's always been there, and when Marisa said, "Okay, well, I need this by such and such," give me a day, give me a couple of hours, bam, because it's there. Brother Wiggins, he said, "Okay, I got this project," and the moment he mentioned it, it was already written in my head. It's there because there's so many things I want to tell people, but for the most part, to make it simple, let's just think of me. I'm that dude. I'm out of sight, out of mind, but I'm in your ear. If you need encouragement, I'm that guy because I want to see you get as far as possible because I'm still searching myself. I don't say I don't have anything, but I don't have any lofty titles, nothing like that. But hey, if you can get there, great. I don't even want the credit. You ain't even got to mention me at all. Just the fact that I know that at some point in your life, as I've witnessed along my path, there's always been someone that said something to me that was like, okay, that made sense. And then I may never see him again. And I've learned to take on that mantle. As a child, I lost my parents at a young age, which I wrote about in the Grief Through His Eyes. But there was God. I can say this: God has always been like, look, you do you, meaning you keep your head right, keep this right, and that's the one thing I've always done. I had to learn how to get rid of the distractions. I had to learn how to not listen to the external voices. I had to learn self-awareness. I know myself very well. I know what I am and I know who I'm not. So for the most part, I always tell people that come into my office that talk to me all the time, I say one thing, listen, and this is my philosophy. If you can't put your hands on it, don't worry about it. My philosophy is I can't put my hands on it, I can't change it. So whatever I can't touch it, I always stretch my arms out wide. If they're outside my fingertips, if I can't touch it, I don't worry. And When I come to work in the morning, the moment I hit that alarm on my car, that's where those problems stay. And then when I leave my office and I close that door and lock it, that's where those problems stay. So that gap from the time I walk from the office to the car and vice versa, that's when I'm in here. One of the I don't want to say the worst times for me, but one of the most therapeutic times for me is the more I'm driving to work because I have that radio on just enough where I can barely hear it, but I'm my mind's going. The guy's talking to me, and he's told me many, many things in that short 30-minute drive that I have to work. And I'm I can't even tell you what my titles are in each book because once I write it, I don't read it because it's not for me, it's for someone else. So I'm excited. I'm coming to learn. I'm coming to learn because I'm always into learning. So I'm coming to learn, and if in the process of me learning, if I can give someone some encouragement while I'm there, great. But I'm that guy that's outside that circle. I'm just sitting there out of sight, out of mind. I'm just chilling. So I'm thankful, Marisa, for the opportunity, and I look forward to meeting everyone.
You are a priceless treasure. So we love you so very much, and we are so thankful for you to be here with us, our armor bearer, keeping us strong. Just so thankful for you. In all your humbleness, you make a huge impact that is powerful, and you are a pillar to us. So we just thank you so very much. And you do. Oh my God, you make me smile. You keep me strong, and that's priceless. And so, thank you so much. And this is what I'm talking about. That's why you have to hear from the authors. We have to have these kind of dialogues so people don't just look at the book, but they actually get to know you outside of the words that you write in your chapter, but they get to know you up front and personal. That's why these tours and these interviews are so critically important for those who are serious about change in their life, their career, or their business. And so, Rochelle, you're up.
Hello, hello, hello. So much has been said that I can resonate with. And I just want to say thank you to those who have shared because it lets me know that I am not alone. And so, Unleash for me was really, it was just for me to show up authentically. When I met Marisa so when I started hearing about the program, I was in a deep depression. I had anxiety and I was masking it well, and no one knew what I was going through. Everyone would think that I showed up and I appeared like I had it all together, but I absolutely did not have it all together. And I was suffering in silence. So for me, I had to really do some inner work. I had to go within myself and find myself because I was going through a career transition. So, as I thought I was losing this professional identity, I didn't really know who I was at the time and what were my personal values because everything really was tied to the job at the time. And so, going through that inner work, I found myself and who I am and what I stand for and what my personal values are. And so it was really helpful. So to be unleashed, the Lord showed me that I had to let go. I had to let go of the past. I had to let go of my trauma. I had to let go of the experience that I was going through. I had to let people go and I had to unleash it because he had something so much greater for me, but I couldn't really experience or I couldn't really accept the calling that he had for me because I wanted to turn around and run back to what was familiar. And so I knew that I had to come out of my comfort zone, and this was my way of coming out of my comfort zone. And so in my section, I talk about mental health and how I was suffering in silence and how to come out of that and how I developed a bold methodology to believe in myself, to optimize the current situation, to liberate and dare to be different. I was so concerned about what everyone else had to say about me, and oh, people are watching me, and oh, people are saying this, but it was like, dare to be different. Find yourself. And so I did all of that, and I was so happy to write about it, to be able to share, because that suffering in silence was really huge and it was really taking me out. I was really going down. So I'm happy that I found myself, that I know who I am today. I know exactly what I stand for. And through that, I started my business, Copeland's Coaching and Consulting LLC, where I help other people with personal development, with self identity issues, to find who they are and understand what their purpose is in life. And that's not being tied to your kids, not being tied to your job or any external factors, but getting down to the core of the individual. And also assisting with leadership development, because that personal development ties into those who are seeking to increase or find a leadership position or to start as an entrepreneur. So I just want to say thank you so much, Marisa, for this amazing opportunity. And I did one thing I do want to share. I did write my journal. It's a 21-day bold transformational journal where I help people navigate negative experiences and how to walk gracefully and boldly over them,
Yes.
how to overcome challenges. So I just want to say thank you so
Yes.
much for the amazing opportunity.
Yes, yes, yes. And that's so important. Everything that you're saying, like, is so critically important. I do want to do a couple of shout outs. We do have people that came on earlier. Just want to do a shout out to Amina. Love you, girl. She is a part of the Own It family. She wrote a chapter in the Own It Unleashed. I mean, Own It and Unapologetic. Dr. Vanessa Blackwell, Dr. Patrice McKee Reese. Just we love you. Thank you for supporting and watching us tonight. They participate. Everybody's that I just said is a part of the Oni family in some kind of capacity, in one way or the other. I believe it's Kamisha, Jeffrey, and then we have Renata, Dr. Walton. Kamisha, you got to come off mute. Okay, there you go.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kamisha, but I believe I was after Jeffrey.
You were after Jeffrey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's good because I have a presentation.
Yeah, he does. Got to get off.
I have to hop off. Thank you, Kamisha. I appreciate that so much. So first of all, I have to thank Marisa for this platform that she has allowed us and graced us with, a plethora of opportunity. We are living in an age of disruption, and there is just so much of that out there today. And this platform, through Own It magazine and all of her other magazines that she's got going on, the anthologies, it allows those of us who are passionate about helping people get our messages out, because they're not getting out in mainstream media. They're not getting out where most people are looking, and people are looking for those vehicles that will share the information that they're truly looking for. Last year, I was really blessed and humbled to be part of the Unapologetic anthology, which was my first version, and that was really about from burnout to vigor in 90 days or less. And just like Nina talked about mental health, I'm a certified holistic mental wellness coach, and I'm all about mental fitness is the new physical health. And this has been my journey for the last 4 years, being, a survivor of childhood molestation, chemical dependency, and 2 attempted suicides. So I bring my journey really to the forefront after like 40 years of hiding underneath the carpet. And this platform has really broadened that experience for me and really gotten me out of my shell and wanting to share my story with other people, because if I could change one life, that'll be awesome. If I can change 10, that's even better. Even 100, that's even more better, because we're here to make a difference in the world, and that's what we're here for. This particular unleashed version for the anthology this year is all about mine right now is titled Unleashing Your True Greatness. Through my journey with Own It, through Fitness Magazine, Mupo TV, and what I'm doing today has really allowed me to embrace the greatness of everybody out there that I am connecting with and building relationships. I have so many more to build, even in this community here. And it's exciting to see the progression of everybody and what they're doing, what they're sharing. And again, going back to mental health, I've migrated over from a holistic wellness to a financial aspect because finances are the number one stressor globally today, and people are looking. I was just announced I'm a global ambassador with the program that I'm involved with. I'm actually going to Ghana. No, excuse me, to the Dominican, or the Republic of Congo. The Congo, the Republic of Congo. I'll get that out. The Republic of Congo in December as a featured speaker, and this is going to set the platform for me in the in the TEDx talk, because I'm going to be incorporating some of that into this and sharing wisdom to people around the world. And I'm just so grateful for Marisa and her support, along with everybody that's on here that I have met, that I haven't met yet. It will get there to the point where I'll get to know everybody. But I'm really, again, very, very humbled and gracious, and just overwhelmed with the beauty that people have. And I will honestly say, being transparent, I was never somebody of faith growing up, and that's another story. I'm not going to get into it. However, over the last couple of years, my faith has been growing, my belief has been growing, and I'm truly blessed by that. So thank you very much.
Oh, that is so beautiful. That's beautiful. Listen, God loves all of us. And if we don't even have to say God or Jesus. When we just love on people, when we just genuinely love on people, that's what softens the heart and opens you up to receive. And so, Jeffrey, you are such a blessing to us. Such a sweetheart, such a precious spirit. Love you so very much. I'm so thankful to have you on this journey. I mean, every single month, Jeffrey brings it to Own It. He brings it to Phoenix Fitness Magazine. He brings a wealth of information and knowledge. And so, if you're not a subscriber to Own It Magazine, drop your email. We'll be more than happy to add you to our subscriber list, and get you going, so that you have this information. And he's talking about physical fitness, mental health, and financial. So he's got a host of information and resources on financial, that pursuit of getting your financial house in order, investments, and different things like that. So you want to make sure that you connect with him in that capacity if you are interested. Next up, Kamisha is working on some things. Mark is working on some things. We're going to leave them on the screen. Already, are you ready, Kamisha?
I am. I am.
And so I know, Jeffrey, you have to go. He's gone. He probably looked at the clock and said, "Oh, I gotta go." And so, Kamisha, you're up. Dr. Walton, and then Wiggins, you're up.
Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Kamisha Michaels, and I met Marissa through Tiffany from Phoenix Fitness Fanatics. And one of the stories that I learned, or that I will be talking about, is when you're broken. That I'm not broken anymore, because when you have an internal brokenness, you can't function. You can't achieve your goals. You self-sabotage. You're afraid to move to the left, to the right, until you can figure out how to heal that brokenness. And once that brokenness is healed, and you're no longer afraid of the unknown, whether it's somebody knowing who you are, knowing what your gifts are, and just not afraid to be seen by the public, which was me when I was broken. I have these special skill sets that um, I kept in the closet. I didn't know. I was afraid for people to know that I had skill sets. And, but when that brokenness was healed and I learned that I'm no longer afraid for people to know I got certain skill sets. And one of the things that I do is graphic design and branding. And so my job is to help define who you are so that you can excel in your marketplace. Because as entrepreneurs, one of the things is people don't tell you to lay the foundation first. I mean, they do, but they don't make it relatable so that you understand how it functions in your success and longevity as a business. So if you just go into if you just go into business and just start serving people and wait until something happens to figure out you're serving the wrong audience, um, that you're doing things backwards, you're wasting money, and you're frustrated. So, my job is to help um, save you time and money and that frustration by defining what kind of business do you want to be? Do you want to be a Fortune 500 company? Do you want to be an impact company? Do you want to be a billionaire? And if so, there's certain things that you got to do. Um, you got to invest in the right places, like your brand identity. You got to invest in the right coach because without the right coach to change your mindset, you're going to stay in a certain realm for your business. Um, Even if you decide you want to be a hobbyist, well, be a hobbyist that makes money so that you can pay your bills. Um, I mean, if you're cool and want to be a hustler, just know that you have limited audience because when people hear the word hustler, they're worried that you're not going to be around long enough. So I don't know if I could use your business. That's what you're projecting to the world. So if I could change your perspective on how you see your business, how you flow in your business, that will help create longevity, resilience, and future legacies that you can leave behind.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. You nailed it because you have to be in alignment with how you were designed.
Mhm.
Cannot do it. And in coaching, they got their cookie cutter ways and they're trying to fit you in there. And for some folks, that's fine. They just like to follow. But when you are a creative yourself, you have your own flair. You have your own way of doing things. So you have to know how you were designed and wired so you can get in proper alignment. So that is Kamisha. That is so, so awesome. It's so, so true. Dr. Walton, you are up. Let's hear from you. You've been waiting patiently. We gotta take you off mute.
Can you
You
hear
gotta
me
come.
now?
Yeah, yeah. There you go.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Renata. I met Marisa. She was affectionately not Marisa when I met her in high school. We weren't necessarily friends, but we weren't enemies either. And we connected when we were grown folk in it. And it's been love ever since. Her birthday's the same day as mine. She has the spirit of a lion and the heart of a lamb.
Hmm.
And those things just spoke to me. And so I always knew I was going to connect to this organization eventually. I just had so many things going on in my own world. And as God would have it, he said, okay, now you're ready. And so I am ready. Um, I consider myself a living epistle. And what that means to me is I am an example of the grace of imperfection. So I am here to do and to show and to teach and to self correct, self regulate, all of those things, and then tell people what I went through to do it. So I'm an open book for all intent and purposes. Um, Discovery and unleashing and uncovering are my superpowers. If you read my little LinkedIn bio, it says, I'm a servant leader whose purpose is to unleash the native genius of her team. So now my team is community. It's people. It's any and everyone that I have the pleasure of coming into contact with. Um, Let me see. So what else? What else y'all need to know about me? I'm uber funny. I really am. And I love to laugh often and as loud as can be because I'm loud. People know where I am or know that I'm there because of my laugh. Um, and I love kindness. I love being in the room with people who only move in kindness. And it doesn't mean you're a pushover. It doesn't mean you're a kisser. It just means that your go-to spirit is kindness.
Yes.
And so I'm excited, um, uber excited, and that's about it.
Oh
Oh,
my.
wait, one more thing though. I do have to tell you guys this. So 2 weeks ago, I was unleashed. My company gave me my walking papers, and it was the most
Liberate.
phenomenal thing. And in fact, HR and my boss didn't know how to take it because I was laughing. I had been praying on this. I had not been happy. I had not been fulfilled for 2 years. And so I know that this is God, because he knew I wouldn't quit, right? And it's perfect timing. I'm old enough to retire from them, although I'm not retiring from life. So, health insurance and money and all that's still coming in. I got an awesome severance package. And so I am open for the next phase of Draw Nigh Enterprises.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes God's got to move you. You won't
He
move.
does.
He said,
He does. I tell my husband all the time, he can't tap me on the shoulder. He got to bang me on the head. He got to drop
yes.
the anvil, and be like, bam. But it's
Yeah.
me.
There you go. There you go. And it's such a blessing to be in that position, to be able to say, and then be ready. And everything doesn't come with a plan. Everything doesn't come all plotted out. And that's the thing, that faith is the substance of things hoped for, but the evidence of things not seen. If you knew what the plans were, that's not faith. You're
Right.
walking in faith and you're just really trusting him to do it. And he says it's impossible. They that come to me must believe that I am, and that I am a what? Rewarder of those who diligently seek me. So we got this. I'm ready for you, girl. Look, I'm ready for you, girl. So, okay, editor in chief of Off the Bench magazine and the visionary for King Conversations, taking center stage and owning it is Mr. Mark Wiggins.
Well, all that energy. Thank you. Good evening. Good evening, everyone's. I am Mark Wiggins. I'm the speaker man, editor in chief of Off the Bench magazine, Unleashed, and the curator of King Conversations. King Conversations is the project, is the baby, is the book, is the heart project. I've heard so many people talk about that thing that moves them, that things that draws them to do, draws them nigh until to their goals. So that is what the King Conversation is. We got King Lawrence in the book. He was the first one, fired me up, and then said, I already sent it, find it. And so I had to go find his email because I had to reboot the project. Ain't nothing like another king to keep you in order. I appreciate you, though. Talking about a lot of stuff, most things I talk about is getting off the bench. My whole mantra, my whole platform, everything I've been talking about since I've probably been playing college basketball was how do you get up from where you sit to go do what you said you wanted to do, right? Everyone's talking about goals, everyone's talking about dreams, and all that's wonderful. But until one takes some action, I get up, then that's not ever going to come true. It's just a nice dream. I don't care what the marketing plan is. It's just like sound like she got it all together over there, but it doesn't really matter if I don't take any action. And a lot of people I deal with when I speak or train, they're stuck in that phase where it's just a dream. It's on the vision board. They got that part down, but what we lack is that part to move forward. So what I wrote about in the book was the power shift. How do we shift your power into gear, into focus, shift it into you? How do you go back and grab it? Power. Power doesn't come. You got to go take it.
Yeah.
It doesn't just show up and like, oh, here I am. No, you got to actually grab it by the throat and say, I'm here now. Right? And I'm taking it and we're going to do what I need you to do and wield it to where you want it to go. That's what the power shift is. And sometimes we are still so afraid of engaging our own power, our own potential, which is really what, class? Unrealized energy. It exists. But until it engages, it doesn't do a thing and it won't produce anything. So there's what we talk about when it comes to the power shift. So I'm the motivator. I'm the one who will keep you going. I too talk to people about their goals and dreams, and this I'm ready to go at all times. You'll never have to worry about a stage that I won't get on, a mic that I will pass up. Marisa knows I'm ready to get it any moment because that's what you're supposed to be, ready to go. So I'm excited about coming to the conference and giving the chance to low-key launch my King Conversation Conference for the men that show up. It's gonna be a great time. I'm running to a lot of men, King Lawrence, that are dealing with relationship issues, are dealing with self-confidence issues, are dealing with a lot of problems with men and have no outlet to talk about it. They don't know how to share it. And they're afraid when they share that they're gonna be judged. And meanwhile, I'm like, let's match this up because we sound kind of the same, right? We got some of the same issues. Let's just work this all out and talk about it. So that's what King Conversation is all about. And it started with my son really all his life. But it really came into focus during pandemic where we were sitting on my deck smoking cigars and talking about life. He was like, Dad, can we talk? I'm like, oh, wait a minute. A young black male talking about they want to talk to their daddy. I'm here for it. And the conversations that we had were so deep. It was scary. Like, yo, who is this man in front of me? Like, did we, wow, so insightful, so whatever. But he was still had fears and stuff he was dealing with. So we just sat there and rolled through. That's what kings do, because it takes a king to make another king.
Yes.
Anyway, so that's why I got free, Marisa. I appreciate you and the whole tribe out here. I can't wait to see all live action. The book is phenomenal.
Wow.
So,
oh, this is incredible. Can you believe an hour has gone by? We have been on for an hour and it doesn't even feel like it. And we've only touched the surface of what this is really, really about, what people are really going to experience as a result of it. There's something about the Caribbean Sea, that salt water that gets into the air, that really relaxes you and opens you up for everything that you've come to get. And so, you know me, I'm intentional. So make sure that when you guys arrive, you get what you came for. Start thinking about what it is that you want to experience. How do you want to experience? How do you want this whole thing to unfold? What's your vision? Because you have taken action. You guys, as authors, have taken action to say that, listen, I'm not just going to be sitting on the bench. I'm going to take center stage. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to take center stage, and I'm going to own it. And you're going to really unleash to those who are in the audience, those who are going to be facilitating, being a part of the general session as speakers, being a part of the panel discussions, the day of that you take your own stage and speaking. Can't wait to start announcing that officially. But you've taken that step, and that's what's critical, is to take that step, own it, and to show other people how they can do the same. So if you look like you're too well together, put together, people will always feel like what you've achieved is unattainable to them. They have to feel like you're relatable, and that's what these conversations and these dialogues do. They let everyone know that we are touchable. You can reach us, you can contact us. If audience, I'm talking to you, if you love or got connected with any of the speakers, the authors here, please connect with them directly. You see their names, you just Google them. Go into Facebook and put them in the search. Get connected with them. Say, hey, I heard you're going to be in this Unleashed. Talk to me more about it. What else? And if you've heard them pitch, so they've talked to you about what they do outside of Unleashed, connect with them. We all need a support system to help us not only set goals, but to believe in those goals with us. And like Shanika said, in regards to Lawrence, he reaches out to her. Lawrence messages me. Lawrence posts positive messaging all day long, and even has real talk messaging that says sober up and get it right, right? And so he has all of that to constantly. So that's the network. Dr. Walton said it very clearly. She loves to be in a room where people, their thing is love. And that is, she is speaking to my heartbeat. If I feel like I'm in a room where there's some hateration going on, trust me, I know how to throw the shade. I'm going to let you know. And sometimes I will grab a person who I know is all tied up and everything else and all of that other stuff. I will hug them intentionally to hopefully disarm them of all of that. I'm going to hug you, and I'm intentionally trying to do a transfer of the anointing to tranquilla, chill out. We want to set that atmosphere, because when we are setting that atmosphere, we're opening up vulnerable people to be healed, to be delivered, to be loved. And that's what we really want to do. We don't want to make people feel worse. We want to make them feel better by our presence. And we want them to be unleashed. And so, guys, I just want to thank you so very much for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here to really speak to the audience, to let them know about what they can expect and what they're going to miss out on if they don't sign up and come to the conference. And so we want to make sure that we let them know. And I just want to say thank you to all of you beautiful people for spending this hour with me and sharing and pouring out into our audience, and just loving on them. And trust me, I cannot wait. We're already in December. Time is going to wrap up so fast. We're going right in, but in a couple of weeks be Thanksgiving. In a couple of weeks it's going to be Christmas, and next week is going to be New Year's, and we're going to be into 2024. So this is going to wrap up quickly. I'm not rushing things, but it will. I cannot wait for you guys to be in the DR with me. I'm so excited and so honored. And so at this time, we're going to say goodnight to everyone and say thank you so very much for having us in your living rooms, in your cars, in your back seats, in the Ubers, wherever you are, the bus, the train, wherever you are watching us. We just want to say thank you. Travel safe. Get home. We love you. Till next time, I'll see you. I'll see you all next Monday. Good night.